Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on ISTV to talk boxing this time around. My name is Tibbets, and you know, anytime I'm on the microphone, I give you quality analysis as always. But right now, we're in big time of boxing, and for the next few months, we'll be doing boxing back to back, because right now, Saudi Arabia, they've started paying big bucks for boxing, and the matches we won't have seen in years are not happening. Flip of a second, and the matches are happening. Look at how long we wanted Fury Wilder, Fury AJ Wilder, and I mean these top matches in the heavyweight division that never happened for so long. But right now, it's happening in the blink of an eye right there in Saudi Arabia, because it's all part of the plan of Riyadh season to bring sports into the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So, which brings us the reason why we're here talking boxing today. Knockouts, chaos, go. It's going to be fireworks, trust me, and I wouldn't want to bother myself about the undercard too much, but I'll talk about the two main events, AJ Ngannou and Parker Zhang. Big Zhang, bang Zhang. So let me start with the co-main before I go to the main. Parker Zhang is splitting opinions right now. Everybody's thinking, is Parker going to win it? Is Zhang going to win it? But I think it's a pretty even matchup. But the only thing is I give Parker the advantage because he's a bit faster. His trainer, Andy Lee, who's been with, Fury's trainer in times past, I think has taught him the ability to move his hands very fast and all of that. And people also forget that Parker is a good boxer, actually. Like, he knows the sweet science of boxing. You know what the sweet science of boxing is? Box and don't get it, That's the sweet science of boxing, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Zhang is also a good boxer because he's an Olympic gold medalist, and you don't get to win gold in the Olympics without being a good boxer. It is pro boxing that is more about knockouts and all of that, but if it is Olympic boxing, because of the protection, the kind of gloves they use and all of that, it is more of the sweet science, eat and don't get it. So but I think the speed of Parker rather gives him an upper end and against Zhang. So, but it's an even fight, trust me. It's not the one that it will be very easy to predict, but speed goes to Parker, but I think power goes to Zhang. And he's a Chinese man, the man from China. Asian guys. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's crack into the reason why we're here, knockout chaos. Now, I'm going to sell you a story right now to make the preview even more better. There's a guy who, in the early part of his years, used to be a drug addict. He was also into drug trafficking, and he was going to end up in jail. Then someone throws him a lifeline of, you know what, make yourself useful by boxing and don't go into jail. What a phenomenal story. And that same guy has been somebody that has rose from the ashes to get to where he is right now. You understand me right now? He's been someone who's won Olympic gold, he's won all the belts in the heavyweight division. The only elusive one so far has been the unification fight, which is going to happen next month between Fury and Alexander Usyk. That's the first storyline. I mean, you could have shared it here right there, because such an emotional story. Should be in jail, but not in jail. He made himself useful by boxing. So now, the second story. This is a guy from Cameroon who used to work in the dump yard to make money. Found himself illegally migrating out of Cameroon, went through the ocean, through the sea, Morocco, pushing against heavy waves, almost lost his life at several points because he wanted to box. He found his way into France, and there he found his way into the gym where he was sleeping for days, and he was trying to tell them he wants to learn boxing, and someone says, young man, we can't teach you boxing over here, we can only teach you MMA. But because he's a fighting man, he decides to stick to MMA, and we know what happened in MMA. He ruled the heavyweight division. He ruled the heavyweight division. I mean, he ruled the heavyweight division. Now, this is somebody whose story is so touching that he has always been the architect of his own life. You know why I said that? He went into free agency, something nobody has done before in the MMA, because he didn't like the deal they were giving to him, and he decided to go after his first love, which is boxing. I've given you the first story, and this is the second story. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you AJ Ngannou. Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. Nigeria versus Cameroon. I mean, we can all send narratives for as long as we want, but it's just adding up to the bigger picture. We know that Nigeria-Cameroon is a derby match in Africa, so whichever sport it is, it's a big deal for us. Now, I've given you the story, but we know that stories eventually will not tell the big picture. It will just be a part of the picture. Now, this is the actual picture. Ngannou fights Fury, who's been a boxer for so long. Not just a boxer, a professional boxer. Not just a professional boxer, the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. And guess what? Francis Ngannou drops him. Francis Ngannou, a former MMA fighter, drops a professional boxer. This guy keeps defying the odds at every time of his life. Now, that has has put him in good stead to be able to fight Anthony Joshua. Now, the funny thing about boxing is, especially in the heavyweight division, is beyond the idea of who is a better fighter, beyond the idea of who is more elusive, who has the better footwork, who has the better boxing IQ, ring intelligence. I mean, those are more important when you go to the lower levels, maybe the middleweights, the welterweights, the cruiserweights, and the likes. But in heavyweight boxing, the ultimate rule is if you land a good punch on your opponent, that's game over. I'll give you an instance. When Wilder Fury fought the first match, Fury was going to win that match easily. But Wilder landed 2 good solid punches and put Fury on the canvas twice. The second one that he got up from was the famous miracle of boxing. Nobody knew how Fury got up from that knockdown. So that's my point. So beyond the styles make fights, beyond the intelligence, the camaraderie of boxing and all of that, the most important thing right now is who lands a clean punch is going to win the match, and hence the title Knockout Chaos, because these are heavy hitters. When I mean heavy hitters, we know AJ is a man mountain, and one of the reasons that this match is making a good prospect for people is that this is the first time AJ is standing in front of someone that can bully him. Yes. Have you seen the size of Ngannou? The size of his head alone, I'll run from that, man. I mean, it's a man mountain. Even when they did the face-up during the last pre-match conference that they did, and they stood by each other, man, like everybody saw that for the first time, this is somebody that can actually rattle AJ. Now, moving on, like I said, let's ignore the styles a bit. If Ngannou could land a shot on Fury and put him on the canvas, and we know Fury's resilience, and Fury got up, that's from his weaker left, and it wasn't even a punch, it was just like a counter, like a punch was coming through to Ngannou, He tried to avoid, then he landed a counter and just hit him by the side of the temple here, and Fury fell. He got up from it. Imagine Ngannou landed a clean right on Fury. Would he get up? That's the question on every boxing fan's mind right now. If Ngannou lands a clean shot on Anthony Joshua, will he get up? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't think Anthony Joshua gets up from a clean right hand from Ngannou. But I think ultimately this is supposed to be a statement fight from Anthony Joshua, because we know that the winner of this match goes ahead to fight the winner of the first unification fight in 24 years. I mean, the last unified heavyweight champion of the world that we had was Evander Holyfield. That was the last that we had. Was it Evander Holyfield? I think it was Larry Holmes. Yeah, Larry Holmes was the last unified heavyweight champion that we had. Yeah, I think the Kronk style, they deal with every knockout, man. Every knockout. So we don't know how this is going to pan out. We really don't know, but trust me, it's going to be an exciting time. Looking at the styles, I think if Ngannou wants to have a good chance at that match, he needs to set the tone early on. Land one. It doesn't have to be on the head. You can land it, maybe a body shot, but make Anthony Joshua respect the power that you have. You go close to him, you give him one, and then he feels it, then he knows, oh, okay, I need to respect this man in front of me right here. I need to give him the respect that he deserves. You get my point now. So, but for AJ, I think AJ needs educated pressure. Can this man withstand? Can he fight on the back foot? And that's one of the difficult things to do in boxing, to fight on the back foot. And Ngannou doesn't have wealth of amateur experiences to call on to be able to withstand back foot boxing. So AJ needs to come in, land, keep distance. Fight that match at range. I think he'll stand a good chance there. But if you want to go close to Ngannou, that man mountain, former MMA fighter, and want to fight him on the inside, my fear with fighting Ngannou on the inside is, what if he lands a good shot on AJ? That would be a very, very tricky match. And another reason why this is also a very interesting matchup is for Ngannou fighting Fury. Fury is not more of a powerful person. Fury is more of the evasive fighter. He has good footworks, intelligent boxing IQ, good ring management. So you could see that Fury knows how to step in and out of range easily. So, but for AJ is more stiff. Yeah, like AJ wants to stand in front of you. He wants to assert his dominance and all of those. So it makes it more easier for Ngannou to land a target than when he was fighting Fury, because to land on Fury is a moving object. So somebody is going like this. Where do you want to land? But for AJ, that is more static. It makes it more difficult for Ngannou to land. It makes it more easy for Ngannou to land shots on AJ. But I think one of the reasons why the boxing world is looking up to this is, will a former MMA fighter who has just got one boxing match experience come and defeat one of the best in heavyweight division right now? I'm sure no boxing fan wants that to happen, because that would be a slap on the face of every boxer right there. So Anthony Joshua is fighting for boxing heritage. Ngannou is fighting the story of his life. And like I said earlier, both of them have phenomenal stories. So it's up to who wants it more on that night. And I expect nothing short of a chaos that night. No one that is called knockout chaos. But because I'm more of a boxing fan myself, I want Anthony Joshua to end that match very early. I'm giving that match 6 rounds. Anthony Joshua knockout 6 rounds. It has to be. The more the fight drags into the championship rounds, I get worried for Anthony Joshua that Ngannou can just land one good right and it's game over. But on ISTV, we're going to give you the analysis as always. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back here the 8th of March to talk about knockout chaos happening in the Riyadh Arena in Saudi Arabia. This is going to be an eliminator match for the unified heavyweight championship of the world. I'm talking WBC, WBO, I'm talking IBF, I'm talking WBF. So all the bets will be on the line. But the first stop for that match would be Fury versus Usyk. We'll be back for that preview later when it's getting close to the match. But trust me, I'll be back to give you proper post-match analysis of who and how the fight went about. Drop your comments in the comment section and let us know who do you think will win the match. Is it Anthony Joshua or is it Francis Ngannou? Don't worry, I'll be here training myself on the pads so that one day, I'll represent ISTV in the boxing ring. See you. Don't go nowhere. My name is Steve. One love.